Hello, Melanie. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. Hello.
Hey guys. Yeah, you notice Jenny Brash is walking behind, looking as if she's wearing her underwear. But you remember Phuket? You know, people don't wear a lot of clothes. She's actually not wearing her underwear. It's just that's the way. Jenny, walk by again. Make everybody like.
It's yoga clothes.
Yeah, she wears yoga clothes all day long. So anyway, yeah, this will remind you of Phuket. It's so good to see all of you guys. Well, I'll see you better when I put my glasses on. Yeah, well, this is awesome to have all of you guys here. And I'm so happy to see Dr. Omar up because it's in the middle of the night in Seattle, I'm guessing. And I don't know if there's anybody else, and I don't think anyone else is in North America. So Dr. Omar wins the prize. But it's great to have everyone. And I've been communicating with so many of you during the week. So it's good to see you on the screen. I'm looking at all of you. Wow. Oh, we got somebody from Bangladesh. We have Michelle. Wow. Yeah. That's awesome. All right. Wow. So we have a lot to do as usual today. And I've given you, oh, and Hannah, I haven't seen Hannah in a long time. Some of you guys may remember Hannah. She was a yoga teacher for about 5 months at Phuket Cleanse. So you might see a few people here, you know. And yes. Okay, so, well, we have a lot to do, so I will jump in. It's a good thing that I can't just sit and I can't hear you right now because you're all muted, because otherwise I would start chatting and asking you questions and what you're up to. So it's good that I'm forced to jump right in, but do feel free to chat with me later, you know, on my WhatsApp. I really like to chat. So some of you have been doing that, and you know, I really like to chat on WhatsApp. So I just want to kind of walk us through a bit what we've been through so far. We'll just look at the overall plan and where we're at and the overall map of things and a map of this journey. So you see the very first week we talked about intention setting. We talked about the 7 steps of intention setting. We focused on the visualization side of intention setting. And really what I did is I threw you guys right into the deep end. There's many theories of learning, and some theories of learning are take baby steps, move step by step to the big hurrah. And then there's some theories of learning like being thrown into the deep end. And that's actually what it's like to go to a foreign country when you're trying to learn the language, just to move to that country, and within 6 months or a year, you'll be speaking that language to some level. So that's basically what I did, is I threw you in the deep end, and then this week I tried to back up. I tried to back up because I threw you in the deep end. I had you doing a visualization. I had you doing intention setting. And of course, I got the kind of response that I had expected, that many people say, well, I don't really know what I want. I don't know what to visualize, or I don't, you know, I kind of want this, but I don't believe I could have it. Or you could say, I just can't visualize. So that's what this week was about, was to overcome a lot of those blocks. And I'm glad that I'm glad I threw you in the deep end, because we were able to work back. So that's what this week's work was about, was overcoming the blocks of visualization and intention setting. So, and then next week, we're going to be moving more into some intuition development. So that's it for looking back. And a lot of people are writing me, sometimes like, I'm not sure if I've done everything I'm supposed to, or if I've done everything right. So Rita was so kind to be smart enough to create a checklist to see if you really are doing a lot of the things that I would hope that you would do to get the maximum benefit. So one is contact me. That's number one. You can contact me all day long on my WhatsApp. Phuket Cleanse is right now closed. So nothing makes me happier than when you guys contact me and tell me your stories, or tell me what you're working on, or tell me your blocks, because it gives me feedback. You know, in the real world, when we're in a classroom, we can be with all the students in the class and we know where everybody's at. The only way I can know where you're at or how to adjust the class or the materials is when you guys contact me and let me know your learning process and what you're going through. So every time you contact me, it feels like a huge gift, and I usually answer as quickly as possible. If I don't answer quickly, it means I'm asleep. or I'm working out. That's about it. Facebook group is great. That's a way for all of us to interact. And I like that because it's fun for us to see what other people's vision boards are like, because we're like, I'm not sure if I've done it right. I don't know what I'm doing. Or it's good for us to see what everybody else is doing. But the community is going to become more and more important, because later in the course, we're going to be doing group intention setting and pair intention setting and that type of thing. So there's a real benefit of us generating some energy in that community where you start to feel like you could put a face with a name. And if you're comfortable, a lot of people aren't into social media or Facebook. I understand that. Yeah, I get in classes all the time and I don't get active in the group, but this one, I feel it's important because we will be working together at some point. Yes, this is a big thing, the breathwork sign up. I think a lot of you guys have seen that we have put 3 different breathwork sessions as a supplement to this course. And that's really generous of Rita, because we could have just done 1 breathwork, but she wanted to be accommodating to the different time zones and work commitments. So she's made 3 sessions of breathwork. Now, the breathwork is important because, as you know, so far, I had mentioned that one part of the intention setting process, that 7-step process that scientists have found to be very important, is powering up, being able to get your body to generate a lot of energy, because the more energy the body can hold, the intention is so much more potent and focused, and things just move faster. Things come your way quicker. So because all of us are new to breath work, I'm assuming, Rita's going to be doing these sessions to help us with our breath work. So hopefully everyone's seen that link in the intention setting group and is signed up for that. The coherent breath practice. So that was our first breath work that we provided you the first week. Coherent breath work is amazing because it's so practical. It's just like a inhale of 6 and an exhale of 6. Inhale of 6 and exhale of 6. So easy, and so many tools online to help you. If you go onto YouTube and you type in coherent breathing, all kinds of music to cue you different choices. Also on these things like SoundCloud, all of these things have free coherent breathwork practice. There's another one, not SoundCloud. It's the other one that we always use. I can't remember the name of it. It's that one everybody pretty much uses. Okay, well, you guys know what I'm talking about, I'm sure. It's not SoundCloud, it's, somebody just told me. Spotify, right, that's it, Spotify. Okay, so Spotify, so you can find that. So I would say the coherent breath, is something you need to practice in daily life as you're walking around, sitting around, as you're talking, as you're studying. I should be doing it now as I'm talking. But if you can practice that coherent breath, it just brings you into a very now present moment. And at every given second, we're intending. We're not just intending when we go into our meditation space or our sacred space we've created, but in every moment we are creating, in every second. And the more now focus, the more presence, the more energy you have in those day-to-day moments, you're going to be potent all day long as an intender. So I really suggest working on your coherent breath all the time. That's something to keep it going. The theta binaural beats, I have mentioned them in passing. I think I mentioned them quickly, but I'd like to mention that if you're one of those people, you have trouble relaxing the mind, that's something you can go onto YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, and you can type in theta binaural beats. Theta binaural beats will take you into the most relaxed state. It's best to use earbuds or a headset, as they have 2 different frequencies going into into each ear. And the idea is it just sort of knocks you out and takes you to that state, where you're like jumping before sleep, you feel like you're falling. That is a really potent state to meditate in and to intend in. So just remember that's a tool if you're having any kind of, you just want to get relaxed. to use theta, binaural beats. Theta is a brainwave frequency. So I had mentioned if you're at the office working and just trying to get something done, I suggest you type in alpha, A-L-P-H-A, binaural beats. Alpha is not that state where you're like falling asleep. I mean, it's a kind of creative state you would go in if you were doing something creative like art, or where you kind of lose yourself in your practice, whatever you're doing. Sometimes just talking to a friend that you love talking to, you can go into an alpha state. If you like gardening or cooking, you could go into an alpha state. It's a very relaxed creative state, and it's very good for working. So you might, if you have focused work to do at work, put on the alpha binaural beats. And then create a sacred space. That's something that we've been sharing a lot. I had mentioned that the intention experiments and the scientists have found that if we intend in a same place that we feel is our intention space, that the area gets imbued with the energy of intention and that focus. So a lot of you guys have done that. Visualization exercise. Yeah, keep practicing your image streaming and visualization, and just remember to, keep moving deeper into it and activating all senses. Intention setting exercise, we've done that, and we'll keep doing that and intermingling that with the work we're doing. You learned the image streaming last week. Keep working with that. Keep working with it the best you can. Power up practice. So again, the first power up practice we taught you was that coherent breathing. That coherent breathing brings energy into the system. But I had also mentioned you could do a great workout. You could have a run somewhere. You could do anything that brings energy to you. It could be yoga. It could be just, for some it's holding a loved one. There's many things that we do for powering up, but the idea is to bring energy into your field. And as I mentioned, the first specific one that we did was the coherent breath practice. Today we'll do another one. Vision boarding. Yes, I've seen so many of you been doing the vision boarding, and I'm super happy for that. And the focus wheel. I've got a lot of people talking to me about their vision boards, but I hadn't heard a lot of people talking to me about their focus wheel. I'm going to review all of these things today, but that would be something I would like you to have done by now. So if you've kind of moved through these steps, then you're on track. And it's important you really move through every step, because I have planned everything very specifically to achieve a final outcome. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about, I mentioned the vision boarding. Everybody's going through the vision boarding. And we talked in the very first class about that I am presence. And I think I'd like to ask everybody to take a moment and move into that I am presence. So just a refresher of what that is. The I am presence is like your soul that looks through your eyes, that's always been here, always will be here, that's been here before you came here and will be here forevermore. And when we in the first week, we actually had some materials with Bettino Massaro, and you learned a little bit about it, but it's something you could learn in a second. If I say, can you refrain thought, detach from your identity for just a moment, and just become that permanent you, your soul. Just let your soul just shine through and move through you. So I'm going to ask everybody to close their eyes for just a minute. And maybe you can practice that coherent breath as if you're inviting the soul back in. And that's an inhale for 6 and an exhale for 6. I'll let you count for yourself. And in those inhales, you're just bringing that soul, that higher self, that permanent you online. And a thought might distract you, and you can look at the thought, but please don't run off with it. Allow the soul, the permanent you, to just observe that thought. And if you start to run off with it, come back. And you can come back in the inhale. And with every exhale, you can just kind of create the intention of detachment from thoughts, detachment from your identity, from your story, because that allows the soul to pour through bigger and brighter, wider in that next inhale. And something might even irritate you, like me talking, or some noise outside, or noise from this end. And that's a great opportunity if you get irritated, because you can simply just come back to that I am presence, become one with it, and in the exhale, detach from it. And every time you get irritated in your meditations, know that's the most exciting part of the process. As that's you lifting the heaviest weight. It's you having the biggest accomplishment, and you can unite in a much bigger way with your soul. When you detach from those things that want to run away with your mind. You can look at them and then come back to that I am presence. Okay, so whenever you're ready to open your eyes, and you can stay in that I am presence, and I'm going to try to stay in it myself as I speak. Yeah. So that's an interesting thing, is if you move into the I am presence and you speak, you tend to speak a little bit slower, because you're also feeling into the I am presence to see if it has, to your soul, to see if it has something to say. So back to, I mean, there's a lot of terms people use, your higher self, you know, I often use the words higher self. I'm talking about that same thing. I'm talking about that permanent you, that permanent presence. And Rita, could you go back to that last slide? I just wanted to mention something about that last slide. Okay. So, you know, this week, I think most of you guys had done those vision boards. And that's another meditation in which the higher self has an opportunity to speak through you. You know, I told you just sit there and do a coherent breath, count to 6, inhale to 6 and exhale to 6. And that's a chance to get really at one and with your higher self, and allow your higher self to pour through you. But the vision boarding exercise is really the same thing, because I sort of tricked you. It's a meditation. The vision board is a meditation, and you sit there and you start seeing these pictures and you pin them, or if you're using magazines, cutting out pictures. But your higher self sees some crazy picture, and I know a lot of you saw pictures that you might have felt are far beyond your potential to bring into your life. But your higher self was excited. You feel like your heart just kind of expands. And then you just pin it. And you're like, why did I pin that? I mean, there's not in a million years I'm ever going to live in a place like that, go to a place like that. You know, what am I going to do with $1 billion house in Malibu, California? I don't even know if there are $1 billion houses in Malibu, California, but you might find yourself pinning something so ridiculous. And then you're like, what is my higher self, a billionaire? Like, why am I pinning these things? This isn't practical. This isn't logical. Yes, your higher self happens to be way more than a billionaire. So the thing is that your higher self is speaking to you through its voice and its personality. And its personality and its voice is excitement. And when you were like 2 or 3 years old, you were quite often excitement, and you just would scream so loud with joy when you got excited. Or if you saw another 2 or 3 year old, you would start screaming. That's the higher self, just like, ah, one higher self seeing another, ah, and then you're so excited. And then they told us like to tone it down, and we keep kind of pushing the higher self, the soul, you know, back down and program the soul and bring it in. And here, we have to do a lot of unwrapping the layers to bring that higher self back out and let it play. And the vision board is like that. So the vision board is your higher self saying, that one, yeah, that, I'm excited about that. 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 Your vision board is giving the chance for the higher self to guide you. Now, again, I'm sure the logical mind's like, yeah, well, what's the practicality of that? The practicality is you don't know why the vision board is telling you to put that there. I mean, you don't know why the higher self is telling you to pin that picture, because it may just be an energy you need to step into. And when you see that picture every time, you don't know the strategy of the higher self. The higher self just says, I want you to see that picture all the time because I need you to step into that energy. You may not end up in that house. You may not even want a house like that. But I feel that you need to step into that energy. And that's really what happens with these vision boards, is when we put these images around and we look at them regularly, we're allowing the higher self to kind of program our energy. You know, the higher self, I've said, I want you to have that energy, that energy, that energy, that energy. If you walk around with that energy, those thoughts, we're going to get somewhere. So that's a meditation. And as I wrote here, how do I know it's my higher self guiding me? Because you feel excitement. So when you do anything, you go to a buffet and you're standing there and you're like, oh my gosh, I have all these choices. I know certain things I shouldn't eat and some things I should eat. Okay, where do I feel, let higher self guide me. Where do I feel excitement? Now this is a hard one. This got to be the most difficult way to let the higher self work with you, because I'm sure you're going to see like chocolate ice cream and things like that are going to make you excited. But just see if you can feel like this heart swell. When you feel a real heart swell, that's the higher self speaking to you. Maybe that's not the best, because when we go to buffets, we're so traumatized by all the things we know we shouldn't have. Maybe that's not the best exercise. But you know, maybe if you're walking through a mall, if malls are open wherever you live now, and you can ask yourself, should I go this way or that way? Let the higher self lead me. And when you feel that heart opening, that means go that way. Or should I call this person or that person today? Or should I do this project or that person today? Just always feel that heart swell. And when you feel that excitement, that's the higher self coming through. Okay? All right. So we'll go to the next one. And, you know, as I mentioned, the higher self is pretty ridiculous. I'm sure I mentioned this. So many of you felt that the higher self, again, when you were vision boarding, was completely out of her or his mind. And I'm just gonna, I think we need to mute somebody. Mute somebody. Okay. So the higher self, you know, the higher self might tell you to dream this big, or this big, or this big, or this big, because to the higher, what to the conscious mind is the ceiling, to the higher self is the floor. Now I have to use Phuket Cleanse for example. if you knew what my conscious mind thought I could create, I knew I wanted to work in the health field, and I was trying to be really practical because I didn't have any money. I didn't live in Thailand. I was just an office worker. So I just kind of hoped for a health food store, maybe. I think a juice bar. That was my ceiling to the conscious mind. I thought maybe I could open a juice bar, and maybe I could open a juice bar in Thailand. That's practical. That's practical. But to my higher self was laughing at me like, oh my God, you think the best thing, most exciting health thing you can do in health is a freaking juice bar or a health food store or sell vitamins somewhere? I got plans for you. So my higher self was able to see Phuket Cleanse in all its glory. If you would have told me even the year before what Phuket Cleanse would be, before I started it, I mean, my conscious mind would have laughed at you. That's a really good example. The ceiling for my conscious mind and the floor for my higher self. But every once in a while, I would be nailed to a wall and people would say, well, what do you really want to do? You don't seem happy in your current career, and you just don't really you seem checked out of your career. You don't seem like you're really in it. You have no passion for anything in life. What do you want? And I'd have people just kind of, actually this was a family member said, can say, what do you want? You have no passion for anything in life. What do you want? What do you want? I'm like, well, what I want is so ridiculous. I don't want to talk about it. Come on. Talk to us about it. Tell us what it is. I'm like, no, if I say, you're going to laugh, you're going to make me feel bad. I don't know why I have this vision of what I want, but what I want and what's possible is ridiculous. So I don't tell anybody what I want. So finally, she's like, come on, man, just prove you have passion. What do you want? And I described, well, I have this vision of this health retreat in Thailand, on an island in Thailand, like Phuket, where people come from all over the world and they meditate and they work out and they do all these things. And it was a family member, and she cried. She cried because she thought I was mentally ill to dream that big. Now, I never talked about it, but I could feel the higher self talking to me about this ridiculous vision. I didn't think it was possible. I had no way how I was going to get there, but it was what I wanted. But my conscious mind always said health food store. But I could hear some of the dreams and the craziness of the higher self. So if your higher self is telling you to dream big and make a vision board that's totally insane, the higher self has plans for you. You have no idea what it is. Just let the higher self guide you. Just let the higher self guide you. And how do you know if it's guiding you? You feel excitement. You feel excitement. Every time you're ready to take that next step, you feel excitement. So when you make your intentions, if you've done a visualization this week, or you're going to do a visualization today in today's call, or you did one last week, or perhaps you did these meditations. Let me talk about this meditation here. I did put this in your homework. I knew a lot of you had trouble visualizing last week. So I provided 2 meditations here that are on the Phuket Cleanse website. And you just click them on. One was a meditation for healing and youthening. And one was a meditation for transformation work. And both of these meditations had lots of visual imagery in it. And it was guiding you. It was guiding you step by step, so you didn't have to overthink the visualization. And the idea was for me to give you some support in visualizing. So both of those are very, very helpful for making you feel more energy. They're very visual. So if you haven't done them, those are really great meditations to do. Now, if you want to see all the Phuket Cleanse meditations, you can go down to that link right there, and you can maybe see topics that are of greater interest to you. Some of those meditations may have topics that are specific for what you want to bring into your life. So yes, and of course, I've gone over this vision boarding. So for a lot of people, they don't even know where to start with the vision board because they don't know what they want. And I think Pinterest kind of wants to see what you're interested in. So I provided this the important questions for goal setting. That exercise right there will help you get the logical mind out of the way and allow you to do the speed rounds to find out what you really, really want. And then what comes out of that can help you with your vision boarding. Even if you've already done your vision board, I still recommend you come back and do that if you haven't done that. That is a super cool exercise to get past the logical mind, because hope you're feeling the message here that I'm trying to bring you back to that 2-year-old self when you would scream big and yell every time you saw something you wanted, and you get in trouble for it. And then when it was taken away or you told you couldn't have it, you screamed and cried. I'm actually trying to bring you back to that self. And the only way I can bring you back to that self is to pull the logical mind out of the way. And that exercise, that's also a great exercise to share with a friend. That exercise is amazing because it asks you these questions so fast that the logical mind's like, what? I didn't even answer the last question. I couldn't, okay, I'll just write. And we get that soul speak. We get that higher self pouring through and answering the questions because your logical mind is having to do it so fast. So that speed round is allowing you to let the soul speak and tell you what it wants. So if you haven't done it, or if you feel you didn't do it the way you want to do it, you could always go back to it. I do that one quite often because it helps me to constantly get honest with myself about what my soul really wants to experience. And yes, also the vision board examples, we put a lot of examples in there for you. So if you had any trouble with that, that's there. And the visualization tools, right? I put this little page in your content because I was not my whole life. I never used vision boards my whole life. And it was only because when customers would come to Phuket Cleanse, they would always tell me, Mel, the best thing I've ever done in my life is make a vision board. I don't know why, but those things are magic. Every time I've used a vision board and I put it up or put it in my office or put it somewhere, magically, those things would just appear in my life in the coming year. They're magic and they're simple. And I didn't listen to them. I didn't listen to them. And finally I had to listen. Okay, if all these people are saying it's the best thing they've ever done, then it has to be a magical tool. So I just wanted to put that in there. I've had 2 things that guests have tried to convince me of are the best things ever. Vision board is the best way to achieve goals, according to the guests, and the best diet ever. There's so many diets out there, and the guests, year after year, person after person, when I sit behind closed doors and they tell me the best diet they've ever had that really worked for them, it was the 5-2 diet. So I just thought I'd put that out there. So if anybody's like, oh, yeah, I'd love to, one of my intentions is to get on a bit of a diet. According to our guests, the 5-2 diet is the best diet they've ever done. Some of you guys might have done it, I think, because of the simplicity. You only have to diet 2 days a week and you eat whatever you want 5 days a week. Maybe that's why it's so simple. Okay, so the next one, yes, so making your vision board work for you, as I mentioned, if you can put your vision boards around your house, or if you could put it on your mirror, or you have it in your car, or you have it on your desk, or some place where you can see them often. Not that you necessarily have to stare at it or interact with it, but we would like, you know, your higher self had you pin those things for a reason. It wants you to become that energy for some reason. If you become that vibe, you become that energy, the magic can happen. So if you can put your vision board where it can constantly be talking to your subconscious, even though you're not looking at it, that'll be great. And yeah, yes, I'll just go to the next slide here. And this was one exercise so if you want to do something with your vision board that's kind of funky, this is something also I've heard a lot of real masters. I learned this technique from Dr. Joe Dispenza, how he uses vision boards, and he's the master of manifestation. And he says he has his clients take their vision board, put it in front of them, play a song, and they just look at it. What kind of song is up to you? You could try different songs, whatever song. You just listen to the song and look at your vision board. That's it. And then after you had a good look at it, the song's done, then you put on this kaleidoscope. So we at Phuket Cleanse made this amazing hypnotic spiral that will take you into a deep meditative state. It's something that hypnotists use to knock their clients out, and they go into a trance. So we made one for you at Phuket Cleanse, and when you click that link on in your materials, you just click it on and it's going to start to play that, if the kaleidoscope will play and play that same song you were playing when you were looking at your vision board. Now, you don't need to look at your vision board anymore. You're looking into the center of the kaleidoscope so that you go into a trance, and as you hear that song, some of those images that you saw on the vision board will naturally start to go deep into your subconscious. Now, you could have your vision board handy so you could go back and look at it and then go back to the hypnotic spiral, but you're going to take yourself in a deep trance, and those images, those words, those concepts can go deep into your subconscious and actually begin to hypnotize you to make those experiences you pinned a part of you. So basically, this is a self-hypnosis tool to take your vision board images, your dreams, and get it into your subconscious. And it's a really beautiful kaleidoscope. And again, you'll look right into the center of it. And by the way, if you ever can't sleep, I have used those kaleidoscopes to fall asleep, or if I've been at work and I could have a very short power nap, I'll look right into it. And I've also, oh, by the way, I need to mention, when you're looking into the center and that kaleidoscope is spinning and spinning, your eyes will eventually shut. So you'll be looking at it, and then your eyes will get really heavy and they'll just shut, but that's okay. You can just keep listening to the music or just sitting there. Maybe your eyes might open again and then they'll shut again. But that hypnotic spiral will eventually make your eyes shut and possibly put you into a little power nap or deep sleep. So those kaleidoscopes are super powerful. Yes, and the focus wheel. The focus wheel is the one thing I think a lot of people didn't get to, but it's really important. So remember that the idea of the vision board was allow your soul to just come out and play and show you everything it wants. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. Don't ask any questions, just pin it. I want all of this. The focus wheel is a chance for you to now negotiate with your higher self. Okay, higher self, you want this. How the hell am I going to get from here to there? This is ridiculous. My mind can only go this high. Remember, my ceiling's here. I know that's your floor, but we got to find a place to meet in the middle. You're going to have to raise my belief system as to what's possible. And that's where the focus wheel is. It's to train your belief system to just raise the ceiling a little higher. Now, I'm not going to go through and describe how to do this again, because all the information's there how to do it. And there's lots of audios and videos and examples. I provided so much stuff there so you can listen to examples. I've given you example focus wheels. I've given you example audios where a coach is coaching people through it. I really want you to do it because you're gonna have to work on your belief system. And this isn't a one-time tool, nor is the vision board. The focus wheel, you're constantly going to need to be working with your belief system. The other part of the focus wheel is not just working on your belief system, but it's getting you to focus on your intention. Because we are scattered. We're living in a world where there is so much coming at us and we have so much going on. A focus wheel, I really call it a magic wand. When you think of a magic wand, they're always spinning. Like if you see a fairy godmother, or I never watched any of the Harry Potter movies. I really should. Maybe you guys can recommend one I should watch that I would like. But I'm assuming they had a wand. I don't know if they had a wand in Harry Potter, but whenever I see magic, there's always a magic wand and they're always spinning it. That is what a focus wheel is. A focus wheel is your magic wand. It's designed to get you to focus in on what you really want, get your belief system up, but just start spinning energy into it. Focus, spinning energy, getting excited. It is a magic wand. Maybe if I called it the magic wand exercise, everybody would have done it. And you might be like, how do you know I didn't do that? How do you know? Why are you accusing us of not doing that? I'm psychic. I know a lot of you guys didn't do that focus wheel. So I just know that there was a lot going on for people this week, and we gave you a lot of content. But that's your magic wand. And keep doing those magic wands. Yes. So let's see, where was I? Yes. Okay, so that was a little review. I tried to speak really, really fast so that I could get you to today's exercise. So today's exercise, as you saw in the notes before this call, and also when you arrived on the call, that we wanted you to have your vision boards and potential focus wheels. If you happen to do your focus wheel, feel free to wave it at me and show me that you did it, if you like. I would love to see that some people did their focus wheel. Okay, good, Hannah. Good, Hannah. All right, A+ for Hannah. Okay, Jane. Awesome. Okay. Okay. Well, I wrongly accused you. Maybe I'm not so psychic after all. But all right. Rachel did it. Okay, good. So anyway, whether if all you have is your vision board, that's great. If you have nothing, I'll talk you through that too. Focus wheel, if you have focus wheel and vision board, that's great. I'd like you to bring out your dreams, just basically. So if you haven't done a vision board and you just know what the heck you want, or you have a crazy dream here or two, your dreams are going to work for this exercise too. Now, the other thing I had mentioned is that you would bring up that core desired emotions. It's like a worksheet that has a list of all the emotions. We had just shown it in the previous slide. If you could pull that out too, core desired feelings. Because the exercise I'm going to give you about 10 minutes to do is to go through your vision board, or to go look at your focus wheel too. Or if you just have a list of wild dreams, if you haven't done any homework at all, it's the first time you've even been on this call, you don't even know, you have dreams, you come with dreams or you wouldn't be here. You could list 5 or 10 dreams that you have, things that you'd love to experience in life. It doesn't have to be the biggest dream in the world. It might be to take a walk in the park tomorrow. It doesn't have to be a big deal, or it can be the biggest deal. You can have mixed dreams, a mixed bag of dreams. So what I'd like you to do is to take the images that you've pinned, or the idea you have in your focus wheel, or the dreams you've just listed, and I would like you to list what emotion each dream or Pinterest board pin or focus wheel goal, what emotion does each one of those elicit? So imagine, like if you look at your Pinterest board picture that you pin, you just take one picture and you look at it, you imagine yourself in that experience. Or if you come with a wild dream in your mind, a wild goal, and you visualize yourself in that experience, and you're having that experience just the way it looks in your imagination, or just the way it looks in the Pinterest board, you're having that experience. What emotion do you have? What's the emotion that underlies each of these dreams? I hope that makes sense, because what we're going to move today from is we're going to move out of the visuals and move it into the emotion that you're really shooting for. Because at the end of the day, you're not necessarily shooting to have the $1 billion house in Malibu if that's in your Pinterest board. Having that $1 billion house in Malibu, what emotion would that bring you to? So I've pinned something like that. Now, I don't want a $1 billion house in Malibu, but I pinned it because my higher self told me to. Because my higher self is thinking, well, you may not need that house, but you need the energy of having that house. So if you had that house, how would you feel? And I would have to say, I feel abundant. I feel decadent. I feel like I can do anything. So I would have to look at these crazy images and try to find the crazy emotion that would bring up if I had that experience. So you're going to end up with a whole list of all kinds of emotions, and we're going to use them or pick out a few of them to use for our meditation later. So I'll just let you have a good old time playing. And if any of you need to get up and sit down and move around and come back and write, feel free to move. But yeah, I just want you to spend 10 minutes. And the time here is, so 10 minutes from now, we'll say it's about 3:45 in Thailand. So at 3:55 in Thailand, at 55 minutes after the hour, 10 minutes from now, maybe you'll have a nice bouquet of emotions. Bunch of emotions that we will identify as your core desired emotions. Okay, guys, I'm back. And hopefully you know a little bit more about yourself. Hopefully you see the real intentions of your higher self is the energy, the emotions that your higher self really wants to experience in this body at this time. And so you have a lot of emotions, or maybe you just have two. I don't know how many you have. Everybody's different. But in this exercise today, I would love if you could pick out some key ones that you want to play with, that you want to embody. What key emotions would you like to become the flavor of today? Would you like to radiate today? Would you like to breathe in and become today? Like the method actor. We used to have these soap operas on American TV, and every once in a while they would change the actor, like in the middle of the soap opera, and they would say the role of Tom will be played by a new actor today. James Parker will be playing the role of Tom today. It was really weird to be watching a soap opera and all of a sudden they'd have a new actor playing the same guy you've been watching. I'm sure all of you guys have seen that, where actor was changed. It was kind of funny. I remember as kids, and by the way, my best childhood friend is on here somewhere. I don't know if she disappeared. She's in North America now, so she seems to be falling in and out of sleep. I think she just went to sleep. She might be out there. Oh, I see her. I see her, Francine. Give it up for Francine. She's up in the middle of the night, her time. And we watched, I mean, I think Francine and I probably laughed so hard when they would change like the character on the soap opera, like the role of Tom will be played by John James today. And we probably fell over with laughter because it was just kind of, you know, coming from nowhere. Just everything was funny when we were 8, 9, 10. Right? So in a way, that's what you get to be today. You're like the method actor today. The role of enthusiasm will be played by Francine, or the role of, you know, like you're actually going to become like a method actor, going to become those emotions in your meditation. And, you know, if you ever did an acting class, you had to do that. Hopefully some of you guys have been in acting class, because at the end of the day, we are doing a meditation today, and we're going to be doing some amazing breath work. But at the same time, it is an acting class, tapping into those emotions that a method actor would have to tap into. So who do you want to play today, method actors? You want to play the role of enthusiasm, the role of abundance, the role of excitement, the role of illumination, the role of, what role do you want to play, Tamara?
I put freedom.
Freedom, the role of freedom. Yeah, the role of freedom. The person who embodies freedom. Yeah. So I would say maybe pick like 2 or 3. You're hopefully going to get lost at some point in your meditation. You'll even forget what role you're playing in, because you're not going to be playing it constantly in this meditation, just from time to time. And eventually, hopefully, you'll lose yourself in the meditation and just become the role of the universe, the higher self, when you really space out. So that's the goal. So we're about to do that meditation, and it's going to be an intense one. It's going to be, it's going to last a little bit. So I would like to suggest that you start to find a place where you can lie down and listen, maybe find a blanket, have a nice pillow. Please feel, I'd like everybody to take a break though, to move their body, maybe stretch a little bit for 5 minutes, because the goal is to knock you out. And the goal is that you're not fidgety. And the goal is, if you have to go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom, anything you can do to get yourself ready for a good 30-minute meditation where you can go deep. So again, we're going to come back at the 5 after the hour mark. So here in Phuket, that would be 4:05 p.m. For you, it'll all be different. So come back at the 5-minute mark and get your meditation space. Perhaps you might want to drink some water. We're going to do some breath work, and sometimes people get a little dehydrated in breath work. So you might have a little bit of water, go to the bathroom, do whatever, get comfy, and we'll be working here behind the scenes on the tech to set up the music and everything. So yeah, I'll see you on the other side of this little 5-minute break. Okay, so hopefully you guys can, I see a lot of you taking your picture off the screen, and that's totally fine. If I was going into a deep meditation, I wouldn't necessarily want anybody watching me either. So I think you're going to feel less self-conscious, but if you have your video on, that's great too, whatever works for you. But what's important right now is I have to explain the technique that we're going to do and a little bit of the purpose. So one of the reasons that we are going to meditate on these core desired emotions is because at the end of the day, that's all you really want. You want that emotion. So why not just manifest it now and become that emotion? And the other reason is when you become that emotion, you really are the walking vibrational frequency of that emotion, then things that live in that world of that emotion will start to come to you. So if I'm the vibration of enthusiasm, all those Pinterest pins that elicited enthusiasm to me are more likely to come to me. Maybe not exactly like I saw it in the pin, but if I start to create the vibration of excitement, it almost doesn't even matter if it does come to me, because I've already achieved the manifestation I really wanted, was that feeling of excitement. A lot of us are wishing for abundance at this time. It's a scary time, and some of us are just wanting to become the vibration of abundance. But if you can become the walking vibe of abundance, things that exist in that abundant world will start to come to you. So that's one reason that we're going to meditate on the emotion today from time to time. But now I need to guide you through the technique of this particular breath work. So this breath work is called Soma, and we're going to have, it's a 4-count breath, and it's the same breath that you did before in that coherent breathing exercise. The coherent breathing exercise, you breathe for a count of 6, and you exhaled for a count of 6. But today's actually easier because you're going to breathe in for a count of 4, and you're going to exhale from a count of 4. You're going to inhale from a count of 4, and then exhale from a count of 4. And luckily we have a man with a lovely voice who's going to talk us through it. He's not here, he'll be on the audio. Maybe I'll manifest a man with a lovely voice to be right here. When you come out of it, if there's a good-looking man with a great voice, then I've manifested my dream. So I want to mention that when you do the breath, I recommend inhaling through the nose for 4 and exhaling through the mouth for 4. Inhaling through the nose for 4 and exhaling through the mouth for 4. Okay, that's one thing you need to know. The other thing, that the one difference between this and coherent breathing are the breath holds. And this is where it gets kind of funky. Because you might be like, what? I thought we're meditating. I thought we're breathing. Why am I holding my breath? What? Well, holding your breath is a little piece of magic. It will, when you hold your breath, and I recommend you do it on a regular basis because it increases your red blood cell count. And why would you want that? Because that increases your oxygen carrying capacity. That means you can walk around carrying more energy. That means that you're improving your fitness. If you can walk around with a bunch of oxygen power packs, bunch more, then you have a lot more energy. So in the breath holds, you can look at this as a relaxing meditation, or you can look at this as a treatment that's going to make you younger, faster, fitter, stronger. The oxygen is going to energize your system when you're doing the breathing, but the breath holds are you're going to go a little past your comfort zone. In the breath hold, you're going to hold your breath a little bit further than is comfortable, but of course, don't go too far. And little by little, you can continue to experiment with holding it a little bit longer. So in those breath holds, you're going to hold the breath and just going past the comfort zone. Now, what I recommend is that you're going to do in through, he's going to count. He's going to say in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. That's what he's going to say. And each time is a round. So he's going to do in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. That's one round. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. That's another round. So he's going to have 30 of those rounds I'm just telling you that because you might be like, when is he going to stop doing this? Oh, she said 30. You don't need to count it. Just go with it. I'm going to guide you through. I'm going to be there with you. But then all of a sudden he's going to say, it's sort of like that game of musical chairs when you were a kid and the teacher would be playing the music and all of a sudden they turn the music off and everybody would try to sit down in a chair. That's kind of what's going to happen. He's going to say, he's going to go in 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, in 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, in 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4. And all of a sudden he's going to say fully in. And that's your cue. You're about to go do a breath hold. So you're going to, when he says fully in, you're going to take the biggest deep breath because you're about to do a breath hold. So when he says fully in, you know you're about to do a breath hold past your comfort zone. He's going to say fully in. Take a big deep breath. And then he's going to say fully out. And when he says fully out, you're going to actually, you're going to think that you've done a fully out because everybody does this. Everybody goes, he says fully in, and then he says fully out. And everybody thinks that's an exhale. That exhale hasn't even started. What you're going to do is push the last bit of air. So fully in, and fully out. And then you're going to kind of bend over and spray out that last bit of air. And that's called an exhale breath hold. So we're actually going to do an exhale breath hold. Now you might say, well, why would I do that? Wouldn't I do better just do a fully in and hold my breath? On a fully in, and we'll do that at some point. But for today, we're going to practice the exhale breath holds because you won't have to hold your breath very long because you won't be able to hold your breath very long. You'll only probably, I'm not going to say because I don't want to put it in your head, all of you are different, but you won't be able to hold your breath very long. So a lot of people beat themselves up and said, I can only hold my breath for 5 seconds. That's normal. You did a full exhale. So he's going to say fully in and then fully out. And then hold, and then you're going to hold. And then all of you are going to be different how long you can hold your breath. Some of you will barely be able to hold it. And when you do, your next breath, when you can't hold it anymore, it will be like that. And you can just kind of regather your breath and you'll repeat the process. Don't worry, I'm going to talk you through the whole thing. I'll be the voice, I'll be the other voice on here. Do we always breathe in from nose and breathe out through the mouth? So yes, if you can. Now there's cases where you might be blocked. I mean, quite often the nose might be blocked, so you can't necessarily do that. And I'm going to ask Rita, she's a breathing specialist. I mean, if people are comfortable breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, Rita, do you think that's a good idea? Or do you feel like this process is better where they're breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth?
It's definitely better, as you just explained it, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Okay. But of course you do what you have to do. If you have a nose blockage or something like that, you can breathe in and out through the mouth. Yeah.
Okay, so yes. So we're just going to start this and I will give you some guidance on and off. And I'll also give you some guidance when to feel the emotion. So at this point, don't be overthinking. I'm sure you're like, I don't know what she just said. I'm going to screw this up. Don't worry, because I'm going to tell you what to do at every given second. I'm going to tell you what to do. And yeah, you might screw up and that's great. You're not going to get it wrong. You're going to be just fine. And the only thing you can get wrong is if you start judging yourself. And I'll tell you, that's the one thing that everybody does. They start judging themselves. Oh, I'm not doing it right. Oh, I can't hold my breath very long. Oh, I can't focus on one emotion. Oh, I don't breathe this way. That's the only thing you can do wrong. That is not your higher self speaking through you. That's the logical mind. So we're just going to put the logical mind aside. Do not judge yourself. You're going to be just fine. Rita, do you have anything else to say? I'm sure I forgot something.
Yeah, I just wanted to say what they may feel and not to be freaked out about it. Because what you're doing is you're really building energy, right? This is not just a normal 4 count. You're really breathing in deep, deep. It's slow and deep and exhaling all the way. It's a circular breath. You'll get into that. But what you're doing is you're building so much energy in your body. So your body may be starting to feel different. And don't be freaked out. Maybe you're going to have tingling in your hands, or maybe there's going to be other things. And that's just energy building. So just celebrate that. There'll be different things that everybody may experience. Some people may experience nothing, and some people may experience colors on the breath hold, or images, or a feeling of peace. Everybody's different, and each session is different when you're doing this. One other tip I just wanted to say about those exhalation holds. Try to relax, right? A hold is tension, you're holding it, but be relaxed in that breath hold, because you're just empty, right? Think of it as a breath pause instead of an exhalation hold, an exhalation pause instead of an exhalation hold. Be relaxed and just enjoy that emptiness. You can feel that your cells are completely oxygenated. You're vibrating with all of this light and energy that you've brought in for the 30 previous breaths that you had.
Yeah. If you guys have your blindfolds, I would suggest you use a blindfold because you'll go deeper, and you might get some visions or colors. A lot of people get colors, but the experience is way better with a blindfold. If you just have if you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot a blindfold. If you just see a little cloth around you or fabric, maybe you can put it over your eyes if that's comfortable for you. But yeah. So here we go, and I will see you on the other side.
We're going to begin to breathe in beats. This time, bringing awareness to the light. As you breathe in light, you breathe out the tone from your heart. Your heart is your connection to everything that exists in this universe. So to vibrate the heart sends out your frequency through the law of vibration to the universe. So you make a sound on your out breath, or a ha, whatever feels good and whatever makes your heart sing and vibrate. That's right. In, 2, 3, 4. That's right. Breathe in light. 3, 4. In, making a sound on your exhale, vibrating with your heart. That's right. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4,
Just getting relaxed.
Out, 2, 3, 4, in,
Focusing on the breath.
4, out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4,
And just becoming the breath.
4, out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2,
Just allowing the soul to come in fully,
out,
and exhale distractions.
2, in, 2, 3, 4,
And when that thought or judgment comes in, you can look at it, but don't run off with it. Just become the breath. Knowing what it is to be just pure energy.
out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2,
Knowing you are in control.
out,
If a distraction or a thought comes in,
in, 2,
notice your power
4, out,
in detaching from it,
2, in, 2,
exhaling it away.
out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, in, 2, out.
And even if you're bored and that's a distraction, just inhale that boredom away and exhale that boredom away. Knowing your power. Seeing how powerful you are as you just become energy. And if you run off with a thought, know you can just come back with an inhale and an exhale. And yes, a thought will run off with you at some point. And that is a beautiful opportunity for you. As you can experience the power to inhale it away and exhale it away. Feeling that energy building.
Fully in.
Everybody fully in, the deepest breath of your life.
Fully out.
And fully out. Exhaling it all, exhaling it all.
Go into your breath retention phase.
Spraying out all the last bit of air and then holding. When you do take that next inhale, it's like that gasping inhale. If you've been underwater for a long time, it's a not because you're being dramatic, but because you have to. All of you working at a different pace. Some of you have taken that gasping inhale. And after you take that gasping inhale, take a few more gulps of air, do another fully in and another fully out. Everybody working at their own pace. If you do another fully out, then hold. Some of you, when you've done holding, and that next breath is that gasping inhale. Just sit in that peace on the other side of the gasping inhale. And when you're ready to repeat the process, take in a few deep breaths and repeat the process. Some of you may be doing 3 rounds of this, or 4 rounds. Everybody working at their own pace. Sitting in the peace and the power in that breath hold. And when you take that gasping inhale, you'll feel some peace just after that. Inhale and just sit in that peace for a moment. And then repeat. Repeat this process, knowing with every breath hold, when you go past your comfort zone, you're improving your body's ability to hold oxygen, you're birthing new red blood cells, new stem cells, you're becoming younger and renewed. So keep repeating the process. Some of you are in a breath hold now. Some of you are taking a gasping inhale now. And some of you are sitting in that peaceful space just past the inhale. Some of you are just doing another exhale. Keep going, keep doing rounds until he starts counting again. And then we'll go back. Okay, out, 2, 3, 4, in.
That's right. 2, 3, 4.
And
Keep
out.
connecting. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in light. Out. Breathe out the sacred sound. In. Projecting your intention out to the universe.
And as he says, project your intention. Now's the
Imagining
time
with every breath in and out, to drawing in light all the way
to
through
begin
the nostrils into your brain, sending a circuit, golden white light all the way around
to
your body.
focus
Complete circuit out to turning on
that core
inner
desired
magnetism,
emotion.
to creative potential out 2, 3, 4. Using sexual energy by squeezing the Mulavandha, root chakra to pelvic floor muscles. With every inhale slightly and releasing and letting go into the sacred sound, setting off a vibration of good feelings on your exhale. That's right.
And breathing in that first core desired emotion.
Breathe in light. In. 2. Breathe out love.
And exhale that emotion.
Breathe in light. 3. Breathe out loud.
Like the method actor becoming the embodiment of that emotion. Until it peaks. Until you almost get chills. Keep breathing in that emotion until it peaks. And you almost get chills and goosebumps. Or you start to tear up. And let it peak. And when it peaks, just let it go. And go back to the breath. Know that you have generated that emotion, but take a little break from holding that emotion. When you get it to peak, you want to get to the point of goosebumps, chills, tears.
This is your time to connect with your higher power, your higher self.
And then let it go and go back to the breath.
Channel, awaken the lights, the life force, creative power, prana, the energy of the universe into every single cell, track your being, the soma, one body, one mind, to love, to heal,
Whenever you're ready to repeat that emotion, hold that emotion and experience it again, this time feel where it sits in your body as you breathe it in. Where does this emotion radiate from you? Is it in the heart? Is it in the solar plexus? Where does this emotion reside? And just breathe it in and become that emotion again, holding it again to the point of chills, that feeling of magnificence, that overwhelming feeling of that emotion, taking it to that peak, holding it, chills or goosebumps, continuing the breath, breathing in that emotion as long as you can.
In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3. In, 2, 3. Out, 2, 3. In, 2, 3. Out, 2, 3. In, 2, 3. Out, 2, 3. In, 2.
Some of you are breathing in the emotion. Some of you are releasing it because you've just peaked with the feeling of it. Some of you are taking a break as you've taken that emotion to its peak.
In,
Just enjoying the breath.
out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2,
Losing the mind,
2,
no judgment,
3. In, 2,
no running away with thoughts, just becoming the breath.
2, 3.
You're in charge.
In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Out.
Feeling the emotion in the body, even if you're not breathing in, noticing where it sits in the body still.
4. Out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Now fully in.
Okay, everybody go for it. As if you're about to do a deep dive under
Fully
the
out.
ocean.
Let
Fully in,
go
fully
of the
in.
sacred sound.
The sound is an important part of this process as it tones the vagal nerve. Just improving the
Hold
mind-body
your
connection. All of you are in a
breath. Go
breath
into your
hold,
breath retention.
going past the comfort zone, knowing the body is getting younger, rejuvenating, birthing new red blood cells. Some of you have just taken a gasping inhale and feeling the peace just beyond that. And take a few gulps of air if you're ready to go for another round. And you can exhale everything again, pushing it all out, maybe using your hands to push it out of your belly. And then go back into that breath hold. And holding, letting the mind just relax, though it's a tense moment. And that next breath will be a magnificent one. And just beyond the gasping inhale, when you take that gasping inhale next time, breathe in that core desired emotion again and hold it as you sit in that peaceful space and just be that emotion. When you take that gasping inhale, just sit with it. That is all you wanted. That's all you've ever wanted. And repeat the process when you're ready.
In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. 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 In, 2, 3, 4.
point, begin to breathe in that second core desired emotion, spending a little time with it, becoming it. Exhaling any distractions that try to run away with it, that try to take it away from you. Remember taking it to a peak. You're filling it up like a balloon until the balloon is about to explode. And when it explodes, you can let it go. When you've got it to that peak feeling.
Breathe in light. Breathe out love. That's right. Breathe in the light. Breathe out love. That's right. Connect to the breath. Connect to the breath. The rhythm of life. Connect deeply to your higher self, your higher power, through the breath.
Some of you have already
Waking
peaked.
up. The treasure house that lies within your heart. Your connection to the universe and everything in it. Your source of deep intuition, insight, love. Breathe in light. Out. Breathe out love. That's all. Out.
This is a great time to visit that third emotion if you have another core desired emotion. Really bring life into that third emotion if you have one. Taking it to a peak. Feeling those goosebumps or chills. Or those tears. Breathing more life into it. Losing the mind and becoming the emotion, like the method actor. And let it go when you've peaked. Becoming the energy. At this point, many of you have released the emotion and are just fully energizing yourself, feeling your power. Feeling your power.
Fully in,
This is the last round, so really go for it.
fully out. That's right.
Really stretch out the last, all of your oxygens, last round. Hold when you're ready. when you're ready. This is your last round, so really go for it. A little past your comfort zone, a little more past your comfort zone. You're totally safe and fully oxygenated.
Hold your breath retention.
You're fully oxygenated. All of your tissues are oxygenated. You're safely holding your breath. And when you take that glorious inhale, as you breathe in one of those core desired emotions and just sit with it.
You are connected to the divine white light, the highest self. Witness the light. Feel its bliss.
Just sit with that emotion.
The cell, the soul, the body, the mind.
Feeling free to go for another round. Another deep inhale if you like. And then another exhale, breath hold. And taking that second core desired emotion when you do that deep, deep inhale. Some of you may be ready for a third round, taking another deep breath and a full exhale, holding past the comfort zone. When you take that last final inhale, pull in that third core desired emotion. Breathe it in and just sit with it in all your magnificence. Knowing this meditation is now coming to a close, just sitting peacefully, relaxing. Just feeling peaceful. You've done some great work. It's good to see everybody here still, and just begin to come back into your body, shaking things out. And that was deep work. Probably feeling very relaxed now. And remember, no self-judgment. Some of us will come out and be like, oh, I didn't do it right, or I didn't hold my breath long, or I didn't. That's what we want to avoid. That is not your higher self speaking through you. Just congratulating yourself for the effort. So you've spent a lot of effort breathing in those emotions and radiating them out. But the real effort begins. The intention game begins, because now you get to play the game in the real world. Just like those emotions and the crazy thoughts are coming at you, trying to distract you. They're trying to pull you away and take you on some story. Oh yeah, you got to think about this. Oh yeah, come on over here. And hopefully you were just able to just kind of push it away. And sometimes you ran off with the story and got distracted. and maybe you were able to bring yourself back. Well, just think that was preparation for the real world. Because if you want to bring these things into your life, you must continue to be the method actor, to radiate those emotions. When you radiate those emotions, the object of your desire doesn't even matter anymore because you're already there. You've got the final manifestation is the emotion. And I'm sure the logical mind's like, no, but I really want that thing. And I really need money. I got to pay my bills. I mean, there's a lot, and that's true. So we do want the manifestations. But the only way we're going to get there is to stay in the energy where those objects of your desires live. So if the object of your desire is abundance and it's money in the bank, and for many of us, it's that right now at this time. And if abundance was one of those emotions that you were breathing in and working on, you walk as the character of abundance. You talk as the character of abundance. You feel abundance. You feel appreciation around you. You look at the abundance. I mean, you're obviously abundant, right? You're on a computer right now talking to somebody on the other side of the world. So you just acknowledge abundance and you stay in abundance and you only pay attention to abundance. And yes, stuff's going to try to pull you away, just like in the meditation. It's like, no, but look at this. It's obviously no abundance here, but you're going to stay like the method actor. You're going to stay in abundance. 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 You're going to stay in that motion no matter what, no matter what. And there's going to be all kinds of shadows and darkness and weird characters coming from everywhere and bills and bull crap. All kinds of crap's going to come up. Because you're ready for it. You're ready to play this intention game. You just hold that character. You just hold that character. Just breathe it in. You know, you're just going to walk right through that war of people pulling you out of it and sharing different, you know, triggering different emotions. This is your big week. This is your big day. So it's going to be a fun week of intention games, being the actor. So that's your pep talk. And you can always WhatsApp me any time of day when some evil character shows up in your personal drama and tries to pull you out of the emotion. You can take a picture of them, or you can take a picture of that bill, or you can take a picture of that, whatever that craziness is. You can show me your evil character, your shadow of doubt, whatever that thing is. And I will help coach you and guide you like the director, bringing you right back to the character you're playing, because you're going to fake it till you make it, okay? So you can write to me like, Mel, I'm playing the character of abundance, but I got this bill. It seems very real to me, okay? You can send me a picture of that. I will coach you right through that like the best director. Yes, that's my job, the director this week. And the teacher. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the homework. So we are going to be focusing this week on powering up. So if you remember, one of the important parts of the manifestation techniques, the 7-step process of intention setting that scientists have found very, very important, that made the difference if people actually achieve their intentions or not. One of the most important ones was powering up. Well, you just did that. You just did a breath hold, you know, just did some deep breathing. That's going to power you up. There's a lot of breath work things that you can do to power up, but it also can be that workout, that dance, running wildly, whatever it is that you do to just bring more energy. But this week, we're going to focus on powering up. And that's, I call it charging the magic wand, and that's you. You're the magic wand, and we're going to charge the magic wand. So some of the homework that we're going to send you right after this call in the intention group is some immediate video that you can watch on another breathwork technique. And that will be coming just after the call. And Rita, are you there to show the next slide? Yes, okay. So the next slide after this, yes. So you're gonna receive a document like this, and it's gonna have a video for you to watch to show you Dr. Joe Dispenza is a medical doctor, an excellent medical doctor, and he's actually teaching you a medical breathing technique to really power up your system. And it's used for self-healing, for rejuvenation, for anti-aging, and that can be your power-up technique that you practice across the week. So that video is going to really teach you something, and you will see the health benefits of it. And if you go onto YouTube and you type in Dr. Joe Dispenza testimonials, you'll see lots of people talking about how this technique, when they're setting intention, has really changed their body, cured illness. It's a very potent self-healing technique. Okay, so the next, yes, this little article is going to be in there called about the 4-minute mile. And I don't know if any of you have ever heard of the 4-minute mile, but for so many years, experts always said humans couldn't run in 4 minutes, that there's no way to run a mile in 4 minutes. And this guy, Roger Bannister, I don't know what year it was, he ran the 4-minute mile. And within that year, multiple other people ran a mile in 4 minutes. So when you look at, and you'll see here in the homework, I'm recommending you watch Dr. Joe Dispenza's testimonials. Go on YouTube and type in Dr. Joe Dispenza's testimonials, because these are people that are talking about using these breathing manifestation techniques and how it's changed their body. And it's important you see them talking about it, because just like this guy, when he ran the 4-minute mile, everybody said, obviously humans can run the 4-minute mile. It's going to be the same for you. If you see other people that are rejuvenating, reversing illness, becoming healthier because of this technique, it'll be like the 4-minute mile. You'll be like, I can do that too. Obviously other humans are doing it, I can do it. So it's important to get into your head and show it's humanly possible to self-heal with these techniques. So that will be coming to you. And it's important to watch that video and read the little article here. And this is just a checklist for some of the steps. I already started this call with a checklist of things that hopefully you've done so far. But now I would, we've done today the core desired emotions worksheet. You guys did that today. You can always revisit it. I've mentioned here the breathwork technique that I just showed you, that little document that I just showed you. And Joe Dispenza's testimonials, I asked you to look onto YouTube and find some of his testimonials so that you can get it into your head that it's humanly possible to do this. And begin to bring your intentions or your core desired emotions into some of this breath work that you learn across the week, like you did today. And yes, so we're giving you a big chunk of homework today. We last time gave it to you a little bit later in the week, but this time we're giving it to you after the call so that you have more time to do it. So as I mentioned, this week is about charging the magic wand, powering up the magic wand. And so I've put together a video for you. It's something I presented on a previous call about a month ago to Phuket Cleanse guests. And it's about boosting your immune system and anti-aging. And the benefit of this is if you put together some of these protocols, some of these cleansing protocols, some of these nutritional protocols, your intention setting is going to be much more potent, because as you can bring in more energy through your nutrition, through your cleansing, your detoxing, your anti-aging techniques, everything that you intend is going to be more potent. So you'll see a long presentation on nutrition, cleansing, and different things like that. And you can watch it and you can pick and choose what you're able to do, or you can write to me and say, which one of these things should I do? Just go ahead and watch it. That will be coming at the end of the call. So this week is really about a week of getting yourself healthier through the breath work that we're presenting in the homework, and getting yourself healthier with some nutritional protocols that are going to be in this video. You choose what's right for you, where you want to start, and I'm happy to coach you through it to get you on the right nutrition program to start building your energy. So this week really is about powering up, getting healthier, building our energy, so our intention work becomes more potent and effective. So, and yeah, you see the last thing on here is message mail. So yeah, message mail. I will help you all the way through. And we will send some other documents on Tuesday, but it'll be, the big chunk of it is coming at the end of the call, and we'll send you some fluff. And And one more thing I just should mention is tomorrow we have another event. It's not necessarily part of Intention Games, but we're doing a Phuket Cleanse event online. This is really interesting. This is a neuroscientist who's really about reprogramming your story that you tell. All of us are walking around with a story, and this is a top-level neuroscientist that teaches us to change our story, change our life. And he was one of the most popular guests we ever had at Phuket Cleanse. He was a speaker. He spoke every day, and he was so popular. People really found how they changed their story, they changed their life, and that's an event going on tomorrow. Of course, there'll be a playback and all that for that, but it's not necessarily a part of the class, but it certainly is going to support our efforts and goals in this class, and we'll be there again tomorrow. So that could be something you do. So I'll just repeat, a big chunk of your homework is going to be coming at the end of this call today, and then we'll send you a little fluffy stuff on Tuesday, and you're going to have a great week. And thank you, thank you. And you're just amazing people. Now I'm going to cry. Now's my time. I was afraid I was going to cry at the beginning. Now's my time to cry. Oh, wait. I'm just really honored to be with you and excited. And we'll just keep working together. This is magnificent. And I can't wait to hear from you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, I just wanted to say something. Susanna said that tomorrow, Martin is speaking tomorrow at 3 p.m. The breathwork sessions don't start until next Friday. So it's next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you're able to go ahead and listen to Martin tomorrow at 3. And again, those breath sessions start next Friday, and they'll be every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah, that'll be great. So we have a lot coming at you this week. Yes, next weekend you will be younger, faster, fitter, stronger. This is going to be a great week to get super healthy, super vibrant, and super young.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Bye. Thank you.
Molte grazie.
Bye, everyone.
That was lovely.
Oh, thank you, Kim.
God bless. Goodbye.
God bless. You still win the prize as the guest who came first in this call. Oh, and there's my friend
Thank you.
Fran. She was the first.
Okay, goodbye.
Hi.
Thanks,
Francine was one of the first
Mel.
guests too. Fran, what year did you come? You were one of our first guests.
No, I came in 2012.
2012, yeah, we opened in 2011. So you might.
Oh, yeah. I was there when we were going up the mountain and doing hot